Morning, Shaun. Looks like it's a little dark out there where you're at.
It is. It's dark and cold, man. I've been running the heat. I ran the heat last night and this morning. Winter's moving in here in South Dakota.
Really? So what do I have to look?
Dude, on Tuesday, it was like in the 70s, no wind, and I was out on the golf course. Yesterday, it was raining here, but it was actually snowing a little further to the west of Sioux Falls.
So what do I have to look forward to when I arrive there at 10 o'clock tonight?
Well, let's take a look here. I'm sure at 10 o'clock tonight, you are going to be, it'll probably be in the 40s. It'll
40s,
be cold.
huh?
Yeah, it'll be cold, man. So, yeah, 10 p.m., it'll be 37 degrees.
So better have the wife bring me a pair of pants and a jacket or something like that.
Yeah, and a stocking cap. We don't,
A stocking
I know you don't
cap.
have, I know you don't have a lot of this up there to keep you warm, sir.
Right.
So,
No, I don't,
Dude.
none whatsoever. So
dude, you're gonna laugh at me, man, but I'm trying to angle my head to hold up here. I got the thing.
oh no.
I did it.
Cut a spot for your sunglasses.
Exactly. That's right. I only did it on one side, so.
Oh, okay. So what's going on? What's going on in the recruiting world right now, Shaun? I mean, I'm trying to get all caught up. I'm really enjoying this conference. And if you're, the CPIA, it's an awesome organization. We had a couple of roundtables yesterday talking about kind of just. Our first session was about the economy, and what's pretty exciting about it is the economic forecast is phenomenal for 2022. I hate to say it, but Donald Trump was right. There was a V-shaped recovery. The economist was saying it was more like that. It was more like that. I got to do an opposite in the camera. It was more like that.
I know the camera's weird, man.
Yeah. So and he says with all the projections and everything, we suffered the worst recession since the Great Depression, but also the shortest recession since the Great Depression. And anyway, he was talking about he was talking about the supply chain and all these other kind of things, all these other things that are all involved in this. And anyway, long story short, there's a great, we're looking forward to a great 2022. It's going to be, everything's going to even out. It's all going to be,
I think, and this is just me just thinking logically, but I'm going to guess it's going to take about 4 or 5 months for everything just to kind of settle down.
9 months.
With the supply chain. How long are they saying?
They're saying 9 months.
9 months.
Right around the middle of 2022. We should be okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, long story short, I'm meeting a lot of companies out here, and the story is all the same as far as what they're what's the bleeding neck, what's setting their hair on fire, and it's all about the supply chain. That's one, and then the other thing is hiring good people. Everybody across the country is feeling the same frustration at one level or another. So
yeah, sorry, I'm just sharing our video here on LinkedIn.
Okay. Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, we just want to, we want people to listen, and dude, here's the thing, you and I just love to talk. So even like if it's just our moms listening, like we're okay.
Yeah, it's all right. We don't need anybody else.
Oh man.
If it's just Sandy listening, but
yeah, she's our recruiting mom.
Yeah, she's our recruiting mom. So the big
actually, Janie's probably our recruiting mom. Well, no, yeah, Janie's recruiting grandma.
Yeah. So anyway, what are you hearing from people you're talking to? This is really cool. As recruiters, we don't get to spend a whole lot of time in the face-to-face with our companies. But no, it's really good when you have a bunch of people sitting around and they're talking about the problems in their businesses that they're facing. The best thing about this conference is that it's camaraderie. Everybody has been through the same thing. And the cool thing about the PIA is that you use a soundboard. others that are in the business, and some have been long, some have been short, some have bigger companies, some have smaller companies, some are union, some are non-union, but they all have that commonality that they can talk about things together. And yesterday, just through a panel discussion, there was a couple awesome ideas that came up, from the different groups, sitting
Look
around.
at that. The phone's already ringing this morning.
That's amazing. The value that this type of thing brings, but it still doesn't solve, the big bleeding neck of the industry: supply chain and labor, and finding good.
That was one of our paint and drywall candidates or companies down in Houston. We can't say names, but the company we just placed a paint division manager for.
Yep.
I sent over an email this morning on a drywall candidate.
That interesting candidate. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll talk to him after this, but yeah.
All right. Oh, that was Dave.
Right on. So what?
That was probably Dave, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. Yeah, man. So, there's nothing new in the recruiting industry from what we've been preaching on the last month. Is it's hard as hell finding people, and everyone's looking for quality candidates right now.
Right.
And that's not going to change. So that's the predicament that we're in, from the painters to the drywallers to the estimators, the project managers, safety people, superintendents, across the whole board. It's just wild. I haven't seen it. Like, it's always been difficult to find good people.
Right.
But this is something
and it's always been on our side, in our business, it's always been the piece of gold, right? It's always been that piece of gold. When we find that piece of gold, after digging and digging and digging, that it goes fast. It goes very, very quickly. I mean, right now we found a piece of gold up in Philadelphia, and they're having an in-person day-long interview with this guy. And literally, it's literally a day long. They've got a schedule that started. It started 37 minutes ago, and they got a schedule, and they're going through, and they're. But this is what you have to do to hire. I mean, you have to show the people your company and what's good about it for them to want to move from a good situation. You have to move to a better situation. But is it harder right now than it has been? In my entire career, this is the hardest I've had to search for people.
Yeah.
And so, come away from good companies.
I just think about the candidate we placed yesterday out in Colorado, right? He's not the perfect fit for the company. There's no secret about that.
Right.
But this hiring authority, and I appreciate him because when I was talking to him, he said, the guy's not perfect. And I agreed with him. And I told him too, I said, you and I both know that this guy is not the exact fit you're looking for. But what the hiring authority said, it was something key. And I think a lot of other hiring authorities took heed to this, that they're going to have an easier time bringing on talent. So what the hiring authority said, he's like, but I like his personality.
Right.
And, you can, I just was reading a quote this morning on LinkedIn where hire on personality and you can always teach skill. Now, that's kind of debatable. It's not just like that black and white. Like, you can't just, but the foundation, there is some truth to that is, you should be looking at hiring on attitude and personality. Those things should be at the forefront of your mind. And then maybe just a little bit behind that is the skill, the specific skills that are required. Whereas where I've seen it in the past, it's kind of been flipped to some extent. I think now if companies are willing to just okay, let's refocus this because it's so damn hard finding quality people right now. Let's just focus on finding someone who's a really good culture fit, who's a really good personality. They get to the office early. They freaking start up the coffee.
Yep.
They like to have fun. They've got energy. Their teamwork. Let's focus on that person. And then from there, if it's the right person, then let's make a judgment call if they are coachable, if they're teachable, to teach them the specific skills required.
Right.
That's just the way the market is right now. So if you're the company that, nope, I have to have boom, everything right, that's fine. I respect that. Okay. And I get that. especially if you're hiring through a recruiter. But you know, you're going to be sitting there for a long time waiting for someone, because the other side is that, like, it's a really good time for candidates to make a change right now. You and I know that, John, right?
Yes.
We know
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
But also the other side of it is that candidates are really hesitant right now to make a
Right.
change because of, you know, some of the stuff that we talked about earlier. So it's like this really weird world that we're in, right? So it's like a great time for a candidate to make a change, but people are still gun shy because, you know, like I was thinking about this last night. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me up late. So, you know, we've got multiple needs in Chicago, right?
Yep, we do.
Drywall professionals, okay? And you know that at the onset of the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, we had 2 or 3 really good drywall candidates, right?
Right.
And our clients did not hire them.
Right.
Okay. They did not hire them. And we told them at that time, like, okay, this thing is going to end and you're going to need these people. Right.
Right.
Well, now those people, they went off, they got their own jobs. And now these companies are literally like trying to hire these people again. It's like, dude, you think that these people are going to leave their jobs to come work for you when you did not even hire them during a, you know, when there was like a tough time going on?
Right.
That just, what that's speaking to them is that you're going to have no problem letting them go if something else hits.
Yeah. It sends a really, really bad message. Yeah.
It sends a really bad message.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going on a tangent here, but yeah, that's just what's on my thought. So I guess if you're a hiring authority, if somebody comes across your desk who's maybe a good fit, hire them.
Right.
Hire them.
Right.
Shoot first, ask questions second. Okay.
Well, you know, and when you're working with a recruiter, obviously what you said earlier was correct. You want that ideal candidate, or as ideal as you can get. And the way that we save, the way that we save people time, companies time is that we're not going to bring you a person that has never, you know, for a drywall company that has never done drywall before professionally. We're not going to bring
unless if you request that you're open to that, then we would.
Well, right, exactly. My point being that what you're saying, Shaun, is exactly true. Here's the other thing that I talk to companies about, what they really, really appreciate is they don't appreciate the kid that never has ever done anything in the field, but is really, really good on the technology, technology side. So they've got a construction management degree, but they've never built anything. They'd rather have somebody that came up through the field and has a good personality. They can teach them the technical computer skills to do the estimating, to even do the project management, because they understand what it takes to build a project, whether it be commercial paint, whether it be, you know, drywall, and drywall. You and I both know there are so many components to the framing and the drywall of every building. There's, you know, all the corners, all the joists. I mean, everything. There's so many components to that.
Yeah, it's not just drywall, right? It's the framing too.
Yeah, there's so many pieces. If you miss the pieces, you know, like if you miss.
Hey Grant, thanks for hopping in, man.
What's that?
Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for the comment. We just had a comment on here from Grant Hackbarth. Thanks for hopping in, bro.
Yeah. So it's just the biggest thing is that we just we kind of got sidetracked there. But the thing is that what I'm saying is that personality is important, skill set is important, but not necessarily that nailed skill set. In other words, finding a guy that wants to be a project manager, like that guy in Denver. He's a field guy. He's got a lot of skill, but the one thing he lacked in was estimating to be able to do a takeoff. And so that company took that guy and said, you know what? He's not the perfect fit. He doesn't have that estimating, but we have an estimator that can sit by his desk and help him learn how to estimate. He knows how to build, and he's got a good personality. So that's what's important.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just, yeah. And I think the companies that the quicker they get ahead of it, the quicker, you know, it's just the nature of the world that we live in right now, just with how difficult it is to find people. And and I think
we've talked about in the past. We've talked about shortening the interview process. We've
yeah,
talked
and
about
we're not talking about lowering expectations either.
no,
I don't want to make it sound like that. I think you can hire I think you can even increase your expectations in regards to their because if they don't have the skill set, well, they better make up for it on the personality, right? They better make up for it on those things that you can't teach really. So if they don't have the skill set, you're actually hiring your expectations in the context of their personality, the way, all of those things.
right.
So yeah, I don't want to make it sound like, yeah, just hire any Tom, Dick, or Harry that walks in your door that has a brain and can, and can talk or whatever. That's not what we're saying. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So what else is going on in Florida today, man?
Well, we're having the third part, and again, this is really really great. There's a business coach that that they hired, and they basically he's talking about making a 5-year plan, and that just goes back to what you said earlier, Shaun, is that building a business from the ground up, kind of reverse engineering, kind of either deconstructing the business that you're currently in, or imagining where you want to be in 5 years, and what you have to do to get there, including what you have to do, what team members do you have to bring on to help you get to the point where you want to be. And it's great. So he's got the design part of it, and then today we're going to talk about the do part of it, the third D. And so, in other words, application of what you're doing. So, basically, it's a good thing every year to go through your 5-year plan, examine where you're at, add things, take away things, do whatever it is you need to do to get to that plan. And of course, the 5-year plan is it's a rotating 5-year plan, and
Sure.
the plan grows, the plan reverses. But think about this question, and we're going to have to leave you with this because I got to run off to this meeting. Think about this question: what would it look like in 5 years if everything personally and professionally was as I want it to be? What would that look like? And then reverse engineer it and figure out what you need to do to get there. So if you're sitting there right now and you're listening to us, the one or two of you that's listening to us right now, if you're sitting
Mom.
if you're sitting there listening to us right now, in terms of your personal life, where do you want to be 5 years from now? And if you are completely at happiness, completely at bliss, what would you have to do? And professionally, same thing. And if you don't see yourself 5 years or even 5 months with the same company because you're not going to get to where you want to be career-wise, right now, today is the time to make a change, because there's a company out there.
Oh man, I did not see that coming. That was a truth bomb.
That's what I'm saying.
I like that.
If you're sitting in a company, there is no reason, if you've got the hard skills as well as the soft skills, there's no reason to sit in a company where you don't have the growth that you want, where they don't have the culture that you want, where they don't have the opportunities for you to exceed and succeed in your business and in your career. Don't sit there another day. Don't waste your life. Don't be miserable. Why would you want to be miserable?
Right.
Give us a call. This is not a sales pitch. It doesn't cost you anything to give us a call, and we keep your information confidential. And what we can do is we can guide and direct you in the right way, in order for you to be able to find that company that has that cultural fit, that has that career trajectory that you want. And then at the end of the day, Shaun, giving you the pay that you deserve for your skills and for your background. Right now there's a lot of good candidates have a ton of leverage right now. They really do. And I'll say this.
even if you're a B or C player candidate, and no, everyone in their opinion is an A candidate. But even if you've maybe been hoppy a little bit, or you've had some issues in your career, whatever the case is, I think if you've got a good attitude, you got a good mindset, you're able to present yourself well, you have leverage too.
Yep. And if you can pass the background screen and the
Sure, of course.
whatever screen. But anyway,
Yeah,
Shaun,
man.
I mean, I'm kind of depressed because right now it's only 8:50 in the morning here. We got 10
No
minutes
cup of
for
coffee.
session. It is 70
Yeah,
degrees.
coffee.
70 degrees here already. I know that I know that kind of depresses you. So anyway, hey.
All right, man. I gotta go. I gotta get this interview lined up for us. So
Well,
all right.
right.
Peace.